Yeah, what up everyone in Math 3 Honors. Thanks for watching this and getting participation points. And thanks for you that's already there participating live. You know who you are. Thanks for being here. So we're just going to be looking at a few of these solving absolute value inequalities just to get you going. And specifically number 1 and number 2, because they do have some little tricky things to them. So basically what we learned last time was solving absolute values, you have to split it into two equations. First, get everything to the right-hand side. But it looks like we're pretty much there. We already got everything to the right-hand side, so we're ready to go. So we're going to do v minus 5, absolute value greater than 7. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and split it into two equations, just like we did with absolute value. And so I'm doing blue for the light side and then red for the dark side. That's supposed to be Darth Vader. Darth Vader uses a red lightsaber. So the dark side has a little bit of different to it, which I'll show you in a second. So we drop the absolute value, drop it. We do v minus 5 is greater than the number 7. And we're going to go ahead over here and do v minus 5. But guess what? We're actually going to change the inequality sign. So now instead of greater than, you're actually going to change it now to less than, as well as change the sign of the number. So instead of a positive 7, it's going to be a negative 7. Crazy, right? So we're both changing the inequality symbol and the sign of the number, both. And now we're set up to solve this inequality, right? What's your so what's your favorite color? I'm going to choose maybe green or fuchsia or red or yellow or blue. Shout out your favorite color.
Yellow.
Yeah, let's try yellow. That's sick. Okay, here we go. Maybe make it a little bit thicker, see if we can see it. Okay, whoa, I lost it. Where'd it go? Yellow's kind of hard to... Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're going to solve for v by adding. So we're going to go ahead and add 5 to the other side. I don't even know if you can see that. That's crazy. Yellow's... It's kind of light. It's okay. I like it. So we're going to add 5 to the other side, add 5 to the other side. So we end up with v is greater than, and then 7 plus 5 is 12. Nice. I might use a different color now. Choose a different color that's a little bit darker now. Go ahead and choose a different color.
Purple.
Yeah, let's do purple. And so my purple, there we go. That's a little bit darker, huh? There we go, maybe medium. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and this time we're going to add 5 again. But this time we're adding 5 with a negative 7, not a positive 7, but a negative 7. And so we go ahead and get v is less than, and then negative 7 plus 5. Do you remember what's negative 7 plus 5? Take a guess.
Negative 2.
Nice, good job. Negative 2. There we go. So basically, since this is since the symbol right here, right? Since that symbol is that, which essentially is greater. It's greater ER, but I'm actually going to put an OR on it. So since it's a greater than symbol, that means that we're going to go in opposite directions with our number line. Go in opposite directions. And since we're going in opposite directions, that may want to check our answers now to make sure it's doing that. So v is less than negative 2 is one of our solutions. And so if we did like a number line like this, we would go like maybe negative 2 here. And also, watch this, watch this. So since we're doing a gray tour, that means it's actually going to be an open hole at -2. It's going to be an open hole. And if it was gray tour equal to, then it would be a closed hole. So these are just some kind of side notes here, just some notes on the side. Side notes, note on the side, side notes. And so at -2, it's going to be an open hole. And then, so V just represents all numbers less than -2. And so what's less than -2? Well, -3 is, and -4, and -5. And so we're going to go ahead and do all numbers to the left of -2. And then the other one is V is greater than 12. So we go to 12, we do an open hole because it's greater, not equal to, it's just greater. And so we go ahead and do an open hole at 12. And then what's greater than 12? And then go ahead and shout out a number if you want to that's greater than 12.
14?
Yeah, 14 and 15 and 16. And so just going to the right. And so that's really our graph, which you might see in the future on like a test or something. And so that's the absolute value. If we look at our answers, it's of course going to be this one. V is greater than 12 and V is less than -2. But it's also just wanted to show you the graph as well. Because later on in our problems, when you scroll down, you'll see that you have problems that are like graphing and stuff. Oh, interesting. See above worksheet for 12 through 20. Yeah, so this one will have some different multiple choice options or answers. And so that's to do with this worksheet right here. You see all those different multiple choice options or answers? Yeah. And so, yeah, so you will have to eventually graph them and choose the correct graph for multiple choice. Nice, nice. Let's go back to number 1 and just show you number 2 now, just to give you one more taste. So number 2 has got a little bit of a trick to it because we're going to be dividing by a negative. And so the trick is, so whenever you, and you can write this down as notes if you want to. So whenever you divide by a negative, so whenever you divide by a negative, you're going to flip your inequality symbol. So like less than, for example, will become greater than. Or greater than or equal to will become less than or equal to. So you're going to basically flip the inequality symbol. There we go, flip the inequality symbol. And so that's also a trick that you'll run into occasionally on this assignment. So let's go ahead and grab this guy. So we got the absolute value of -5x is less than or equal to 5. And everything is over to the right side. We isolated our absolute value already. They're all ready to go. We'll split it into two equations. So -5x is less than or equal to 5. And -5x is greater than or equal to -5. So notice for the second equation that we changed it instead of less than or equal to, we changed it to greater than or equal to. And we changed the 5 to be a -5, right? To be a -5. Okay, nice. So now let's do green. I haven't done green for a while. Yeah, green. So now we're going to divide. Uh-oh, look at that. We're going to divide by a negative, divide by a negative. And so because we divided by a negative, that is indeed going to flip the inequality symbol to be greater than now. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. So then we bring down the x, and so x is greater than or equal to, and then 5 divided by negative 5 is a 1, negative 1. Over here, we're also going to divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5. And that, indeed, again, is going to flip it. Instead of greater than or equal to, it's going to be less than or equal to. Bring down your x. And then negative 5 divided by negative 5 is a positive 1. And so that's going to be our 2. That's supposed to be a 1. Wow. And so that's going to be our 2 answers there. That's going to be our 2 answers. Now, how we know that we did that right with the whole flipping thing when you divide by a negative is, go back to the original. It said it's a less than, right? And so less than means between negative 1 and 1, we're going to go ahead and be a solid dot. And we're going to want everything in between, including like 0. And so if we take a look, it says all numbers less than 1, which is 1 in this direction, and all numbers greater than or equal to negative 1, which is also in this direction. And so that means we did it right. Woo! And so another way to write that is between negative 1, which is less than or equal to x, which is also less than or equal to positive 1, which is going to be this answer right here, between negative 1 and 1. Now, if we didn't flip that